Welcome, everyone. It's time for another Flat Earth TikTok debunk video. This time I take various Flat Earth TikToks and do my thing. Let the derp begin.
How solar and lunar eclipses are possible. The heliocentric model completely fails when studying lunar eclipses. For a lunar eclipse to take place in the globe model, the sun has to be reflecting the Earth's shadow onto the moon, and all three have to be aligned in a straight 180-degree syzygy. But since the beginning of time, lunar eclipses have been observed while both the sun and the moon are simultaneously visible in the sky. Furthermore, when looking into the mechanisms of a solar eclipse, the heliocentric lie once again falls apart. As this footage demonstrates, the sun and the moon have to be roughly a similar size for a solar eclipse halo to form.
Representing my sun source and a penny representing the moon. And as you can see, the flashlight is a lot larger than the penny. Okay, now let's place the sun 93 million miles out into space like this. And let's get our penny a lot closer to the camera. Okay, where it's about the same size as a flashlight in perspective. Okay, now that doesn't look right. You can't see the corona. And it just doesn't eclipse. You can still see it light all around. It's not a total blackout. Okay, now I have a side light on the side of this flashlight that just so happens to be the exact same size in diameter as the penny, which is perfect for our next test because the sun and the moon are the same size on a flat Earth. And we'll bring the sun in closer to us as it would be on a flat Earth. Now let's try our eclipse with the moon right underneath the sun. And wow, there's the corona.
If the sun was 400 times bigger than the moon, then its light would devour the moon and we would not witness the halo, or corona.
Okay, one last time. These are small, but the ones out there are far away. Small, far away.
Thank you, Father Ted. Eclipses are a matter of perspective for those of us on Earth, as the sun is far away and 400 times bigger than the moon, which is small and close, but not local. It is a really simple concept to understand, but it appears that it may be too simple for flat earthers to grasp.
This is 12/18 on 10/14/22 in Denver, Colorado. This is exactly how the sun and the moon are sitting, and you can go outside and check this for yourself. I have video of it that I can also post if you would like. But if we throw the sun in the direction that it actually goes, we get days. And then we also get months, because if I go back to the time that it is now and I go forward 1 month, you see how the sun moves south and then it hits its winter whatever solstice, and then it starts coming back. And as it gets into the summer months, it's right overhead, and that explains the seasons, right? And then, I don't know if you also noticed, but the sun light actually changes as well. So now the 24 hours of, not the 24 hours in summer, but the 24 hours in winter, so we'll come back to here, is because if you look at this, the sun never completely reaches that North Pole. And never completely gets there, you know what I mean? So let's get it back right there. See how this is? The sun is too far to reach the North Pole, but at the same time, it's weird because the colder it is, the less atmospheric distortion you get. The atmosphere is not invisible. Look at the Colorado, the Rockies. If you look through the mountains straight west from a top of a building, what I do for work, you see the front mountains kind of clear, and then the further mountains they go, like the less you see them, the less defined they are, right? So if you think about it, that's not just from smoke, that's also because the atmosphere is visible. It not like super close up to your face, but over distances it disappears. Light can't travel all the way through the atmosphere. It just doesn't work like that. But yeah, this is also the correct map that we use. This is called the Gleason's map. Pretty cool stuff if you ask me. And yes, that is Antarctica that completely surrounds us.
The North Pole sees 24-hour darkness from early October to early March. In early March, it sees twilight until summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, when the sun rises above the horizon. The sun sinks below the horizon around autumn equinox, spring equinox in the southern hemisphere, and plunges the North Pole into twilight until early October. Compare that to the South Pole in the southern hemisphere, which at 90 degrees south gets 7 months with 24-hour sunlight. Halley Bay is roughly 75 degrees south and gets 3 months of 24-hour sunlight. And Hope Bay is roughly 60 degrees south and gets close to, but not quite, 24 hours of sun for 1 month. This is what we see in reality and cannot happen on a flat Earth with an ice wall around its edge. And the reason mountains look muted in color the further away they are is due to the dense layer of atmosphere that one has to look through. Yes, smoke, dust, etc. can play a part, but they do not completely obscure them from one's view.
Go ahead, bro. Explain the flat earth theory real quick.
So how they say the world is round, right?
Yeah.
No. So, right here, flat earth theory. If it was flat, it's a theory.
Yeah.
It would be round like a disc, right? So, how did Pangea happen? If there is any plates, there's 2 rotating discs right here. Here's the continents, and it spins like that. Now, here's what makes me believe this a little more now. It's like Earth's a little dome. We have an atmosphere, and if there is a way you can leave, it's through the North Pole. There's a reason why 7 countries have that shit protected by their military.
None of them can go into it.
That's the way in and out, and that's the way light reflects. Technically, the moon and sun ain't even lit. The light reflects off that. There's a reflection of light.
Bro.
And here's the biggest thing. How is it daytime but you see the moon?
Yeah,
when the moon's supposed to be on the other side of the world.
Hey, a new flat Earth theory. The Earth is a flat disk made up of 2 rotating rings with a dome over it. Kind of like a table with a lazy Susan, but the lazy Susan is flush with the table. The North Pole is off limits and protected by 7 countries and their military. Also, the North Pole is the only way out, and it appears the light comes up below and through it and reflects off the sun and moon. And the moon should not be seen in the daytime as it should be on the other side of the world. You just can't make these things up. Oh wait, yes you can.
This video is proof that there's a dome above us, and here's why. So we all know how TV shows and movies love to put subliminal messages in front of everything. Now let me show some to you guys. First, let's start with Disney. Almost every Disney logo has this little dome above it. And on the intro to their movies, they literally have a star creating a dome above their castle. Then let's talk about their ring around the sun. I know you guys have seen this before. That literally looks like something a dome would do. Then let's talk about the rainbow, which is literally shaped like a dome. Then let's talk about some more subliminal messages that they put everywhere. Like the Hunger Games when they literally destroy the dome. Like the Simpsons when they destroy the dome and water comes falling down. And we all know how the Simpsons loves to predict the future. Then let's talk about when Godzilla literally threw a stick at the dome and destroyed it. Then in Chicken Little how he said the sky was falling and a piece of the sky fell. And not only that, but just about every single culture has talked about a dome. It is even mentioned in the Bible too. It's called the 3-story universe.
Of course, the dome is in plain sight. TV, movies, light reflecting off of ice crystals and cirrus clouds making halos, light reflecting off of water making arcing rainbows. The proof of a dome is everywhere. Oh, the continued misunderstandings of flat earthers.
The Earth is flat. We're in a simulation. The 3D world, which is a cube, 666, which is Saturn. Inky trapped our souls inside the matrix to feed off our life force energy. Our third eye is inside of Saturn.
I honestly don't know how to respond to this one except real picture of the flat earth that is not, and he needs to lay off reading L. Ron Hubbard before he makes a TikTok.
Alright, this is a flat earth model or, map clock. I would usually get a lot of comments saying that if the earth was flat, you'll be able to see the sun all the time, when that's not how flat earth works. This is how flat earth works. You see the moon phase right now, and this is the moon phase tonight. So you see the time down here, it says 13:15. That's 1:15 in military time. So check this out. This is how you get different time zones. This is how you get the different phases of the moon. And this is how you even get solar eclipses. Now, if you want me to actually zoom in, I can zoom in, because this is where we are right now. Right here. Now you see how they travel in and out of this plane. They also travel around the North Pole. So keep watching as the days go by, and look at the moon phases too. Now let me speed this up. The moon does not follow the sun. This is how you don't see the moon in the sky sometimes. Now, I'm going to zoom out. Now watch the sun and the moon. These is how you get your eclipses. Lunar and solar eclipses. This moon and sun have to be the exact same size. That's why you see the dark phase of the moon in some days, because it's an eclipse happening in some other part of the world. And by this model right here is how you can actually get full moons, blood moons, eclipses, and so on and so forth.
On a flat Earth, the sun would be thousands of miles up high, thus its light would be ever present, and we would never have night, only twilight. And if the moon were as high as the sun and chasing it, different parts of the Earth would see different phases of the moon every day of the month. Yet, that doesn't happen in reality.
The leaders, celebrities, actors that has betrayed the people, here is where they go, family. We are talking about the land of Mars, the one that is the closest to our dome. When you see UFO sightings, you need to know that they fly from the land of Mars to Earth. Or it can be from the ancestor republic over here to the inside of Earth. The custodians, Anunnakis, they have made a deal with our leaders and celebrities that betrayed us. Look at this, family. This is about Richard E. Byrd. He is still there living with his human colleagues in his gift for betraying his brothers. And look, family, they are able to live 4 or 5 times more years than in the same land. Is it a coincidence that people like Elon Musk and other billionaires want to go to Mars? Family, link to book in bio. Check it out for yourself.
That's right, folks. The leaders, actors, and celebrities that have betrayed the people come from the land of Mars. And according to this guy, the land of Mars is here on Earth just over the ice wall.
While Google would make sure when you type in flat Earth that nothing like this would ever pop up, many agree the science regarding our sun is far from settled.
We're told that the sun is a massive ball of burning gas 93 million miles away. But if that were true, then all the light that arrives here would be parallel because it's so far away. And it has to be parallel because one of the most often cited supposed globe proofs is Eratosthenes' experiment between Alexandria and Syene, by which he calculated the size of the Earth. For that calculation to be accurate, the light must come down parallel. The only problem is that that's not what we see. If you go out on a sunny day with broken cloud, what you'll see is that light comes down at angles, diverging angles, And that means that we can follow those light rays back to the source and triangulate the sun's height above the Earth, proving that the sun isn't millions of miles away. But we can also perform physical experiments that prove that these crepuscular rays, as they're called, can only be recreated with a light source that is small and close.
First, why would Google be showing clips from videos that are edited to fit someone's flat Earth narrative? Second, the science regarding a lot of things, including the sun, will always be far from settled. Third, the light from the sun is virtually parallel, as seen here. Fourth, crepuscular rays being angled is simply due to perspective and only exist because of breaks in the clouds that focus the light through them. It is such a simple thing to grasp for most people. However, it may be too simple a thing for flat earthers to grasp.
He doesn't know what a theory is.
Big Bang happened.
Then gets super mad after I explain what it is.
Explain what a scientific theory is.
That means it's not a fact-based concept, sir.
That's incorrect.
Oh, really? So now give me the new definition of theory.
Well, do you know, could you, like, okay, let's do this. Do you know any other scientific theories?
There's plenty of them, yeah. Like evolution.
Sure.
Theory. It's not fact-based.
It is fact-based. It's based on evidence.
It wouldn't be called a theory if that was the case.
Yes, it would, because that's what theories are.
No,
Also,
they're not. No, they're
also,
not.
like,
That's why they're
atomic
called
theory.
conspiracy theories, because it's not based on facts, right?
Yeah, in science it means something different.
In science, it means, so the word changes definition just because science is there, right?
Words have different definitions. That's how words work.
So,
like,
so
for
you
example,
mean to tell me that when it comes to conspiracy theory, the word theory now takes on a whole new definition, right?
Yes, because words have multiple definitions. That's how words work. Do you know, like in English, the word set has more than 100 different definitions.
Okay, so is there
that's
proof?
just a fact. Like,
Okay,
you're being
so what's your
condescending, but that's just a
reference?
fact of language.
Okay, great. What's your
Let's just talk about what let's just talk about what scientific theories are. So you mentioned evolution. Another good one would be like atomic theory. The existence of atoms, our models on atoms, it's based entirely within a theoretical framework. Now, atoms, as a matter of fact, do exist, right?
You are dancing and shucking and jiving around the question. What is the proof that Big Bang is a fact, not a theory? In order for somebody to graduate to a fact, it has to leave the realm of being theoretical.
Right. So it would be the evidence. So by talking about atoms, the fact that atomic theory is a theory, but a true theory, is based on the experimental evidence. And with the Big Bang, it's based on observational evidence and some experimental evidence.
So then why would it be called a theory?
Because that's what theories are. Theories are enormous frameworks. Theories are like, what's the word? It's kind of like an enterprise almost. It's a body of knowledge. It's a system, you can think of it. It's made of models that accurately describe the world and are based on evidence. Do you think that atoms exist, or do you doubt that atoms exist?
Oh, come on, man. I'm not going to split hairs. I asked you as the host about these particular topics, right? I'm asking
atoms,
you how
as a matter of atoms factually exist, and our entire understanding of atoms is based on theory. Okay, so when people say theories are facts, the best you can do is say it's just kind of like, it's being a little bit lazy, because it's not extrapolating it in its entire philosophical like potential or whatever. But guess what? Atoms, as a matter of fact, do exist. Earth, as a matter of fact, orbits around the sun. So heliocentric theory
it's a theory.
is a fact.
No. Atoms existing
is a theory. It's theoretical.
It's not a theoretical concept.
It's a scientific theory, which is a body of knowledge and a system of models that make predictions that are true. That's how it becomes a theory.
No.
That's what a scientific theory is. So I don't know what you want me to say. I've been teaching science and learning about science for years and years and years. I know this.
You've been teaching.
This shows flat earthers in their semantic world. They take a word that has multiple definitions depending on the context it is used in and only see the colloquial definition. They failed education, which is why they see it as indoctrination.
And today I have two special guests. I have David Waverly, formerly NASA employee, and as most of you know, Cindy Holland, also formerly NASA employee. And we're going to talk about, are there satellites? And if there are, what type of satellites? David's going to talk just a little bit about the South Pole because he was stationed there. So he's got a lot of cool information, facts about that. And we're going to talk about Cindy. Of course, she worked at Lockheed Martin, which an engineer told her what?
That the Earth is flat.
The Earth is flat, straight from an engineer at Lockheed Martin. If anybody knows if the Earth's flat, Lockheed would know. So, David, let's hear, what did you do for NASA? And tell us about your experiences. I know you work for Goddard Space Center. Tell us about your experiences at the South Pole.
Okay, so I actually wasn't at the South Pole because there isn't a South Pole.
Oh!
But,
whoa. Is there something to walk on down there? I mean...
Well, first of all, Antarctica, regardless of whether you believe in a globe or a flat Earth with a encircled, encompassed Antarctica, Antarctica is a landmass covered with ice, a whole lot of ice.
How far out did you get to go?
How far out did I go? I was in McMurdo Station.
Okay, so you're right on the edge, under just directly south of New Zealand, right?
Yeah,
that's
I mean, everything is south.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I'm pulling your leg, man. Listen. So, look, okay, it's pretty. You go to Christchurch, New Zealand, on the way to Antarctica to go out to the ice, they call it. So, I was in McMurdo to put a data ingest system. Now, this was in my career at NASA when I believed we lived on the globe Earth. I bought all the science, all the space, the vast universe, and billions of stars. I bought into all that, just like most of us did at one point. And so I'm down there, and we put this system in to capture the data. And it's for polar orbiting spacecraft, so that because there's a big data hole in the Antarctic data set. A big hole.
Are you talking about the map part? The part?
Yes. Any map that you would have seen of the Earth showed this huge gaping lack of data in the center of Antarctica. And I can tell you the reason why that is because there is no center in Antarctica. Antarctica's a ring, but I didn't know that then. So we go down there. Now here's the thing, and I was about to tell you a little while ago, is I set this system up, everything's functional, we're ingesting data, we're retransmitting it offline when there are no spacecraft orbiting over, quote unquote. And about 10 years later, I'm watching a YouTube video and I'm looking at images.
So one person who worked for Lockheed Martin heard an engineer say the Earth is flat. And another person who worked for NASA and was at McMurdo Station in Antarctica for an assignment claims there is no South Pole and that it is a ring and that one day he was watching a YouTube video and it cuts there. Well, after those two pieces of spectacular evidence, I'm convinced the Earth is flat. Just kidding. Last but not least, some flat Earth memes for your pleasure. You know why you don't feel the Earth spin? Because it doesn't fucking spin. Research the flat Earth. They stole our minds and our money and enslaved us in a false realm. Well, someone graduated from YouTube Flat Earth University. The Hubble. Computer-generated imagery since 1990. Flat Earth imagery, including memes. Computer-generated imagery on YouTube and social media platforms since 2014. Someone thinks they're being cute with this meme, don't they? The top picture is from the Chinese space station, which only has had its core module in low Earth orbit since April of 2021. The first component of the International Space Station was launched in 1998. I am sure with time and repairs, the Chinese space station will not look the same. How most spiritual people spread light. How I spread light. Someone is a fan of dragons. The Dead Sea's salt concentration is 34%. This high concentration of salt makes the water very dense. The human body, by comparison, is not as dense as the salt water. Therefore, humans float in the Dead Sea. This proves that the density of an object determines whether it will float or sink in another substance. Gravity debunked. Actually, this meme was correct until the last two words. Salt and other minerals are at the bottom, thus pushing the water up and making human bodies and other objects float. This actually shows that gravity is a thing. Glober's dilemma. Earth too big to see the curve. Ships go over the curve. Earth is too big to see the curve. Hashtag perspective. Ships disappear over the Earth's curve. Gotta love when flat earthers trot out Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye, as if they're the only experts on the shape of the Earth. What flat earthers fail to grasp is that on the human scale, we cannot see curve from the ground. However, we can see the effective curve from the ground, which is the horizon. Sleep, eat, debunk the globe. Repeat. Hang on, something's wrong with this. Ah, that's better. The jet, power lines, and the sun are not moving down, they're moving away. Perspective. Maybe on a 2D sheet of paper it looks like that. However, the Earth is a 3D sphere with factors like refraction and other atmospheric conditions that cause perspective to be different from flurfspective. Things that make you go, Straight hatches that fit into curved spaceship hulls. Are they sure about this? To me, it looks like the camera angle is a little off, which makes it appear to be curved. If someone asks for a picture of the ice wall, hashtag moon hoax, hashtag space hoax, hashtag gravity hoax, hashtag relativity hoax, hashtag trust flat water, hashtag flat earth. Someone is making assumptions. There is no ice wall. That is a piece of the ice shelf that surrounds Antarctica. Gotta lie to Flurf. If you believe this is real, congratulations, you're successfully indoctrinated. I'm confused. Are they talking about the image or satellites? That boat over the Bindi Ocean argument was so debunked by the Nikon P900 in 2015, Harry. Of course, the flat earther's camera of choice. Remember to hit the like button, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure to hit the notification bell and click all so you'll get notified of any new content I upload. Hopefully, maybe, it's YouTube. Thank you for watching. You are all awesome. See you in the next video.